Hi, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of Fit Talks. It's your favorite health and fitness coaches, KP and Dava. So nice to be with you guys tonight. Now, for our new viewers out there, I just want to give you a little bit of background about this show and how we started it. So, Dava and I, like I said, are health and fitness coaches. We are super passionate about just living our healthiest lives, and we just want to share that with as many people as possible. And so that's why we chose this platform to do it. And this allows us to interact with you guys, let you guys ask questions, and be a part of the show, which is super important to us as well. A little bit about myself. My name is Clinesia. A lot of people call me KP. And I have been a full-time health and fitness coach for just under a year, but I've been on my fitness journey off and on for about 10 years now. About 3 years ago, I decided to just focus on my health, prioritize my fitness, prioritize my diet, and just make sure that I take care of myself first and foremost. And then that way I can be just better in everything else I do. I can be better for everybody that I care about. So that was really important for me to just get on track and stay on track. And I just fell in love with helping other people and really helping people avoid some of the pitfalls that I fell into along my journey. So that's what really drives me every single day and makes me want to do this more and more. Dava, you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I have been a health and fitness coach now for 2 years. I originally got started on my journey as, a personal vendetta. I was on a mission to really find out how I could, be the best version of myself, how I could ensure that, I was keeping all of those family medical history legacies at bay or preventing them as best as possible so that I could truly be, the best version of myself and really fulfill all those plans that God had for me. I knew that my health was going to be one of those major hurdles. And I had just gotten to a point where I got comfortable with letting myself go. And so I just really made the decision to get a handle on that. And since then, I lost 50 pounds. I've gotten certified in size life classes and also personal and advanced nutrition. And really having that knowledge base under my belt is what really keeps me motivated and keeps me on track with the journey. So I decided to become a health and fitness coach to bring other people along with me. I figure how great is that accountability part for not only myself, but for other people knowing that they have somebody who's been there, done that right alongside of them. So that's kind of my story. And then so Clinesia and I are doing these Fit Talks, it's basically just a conversation between two good friends. And we try to keep it as real as possible because let's be honest, like you guys could have probably Googled everything that we're going to talk about, but it's kind of fun to have a friend tell about it or somebody that, can relate to your story a little bit better. So last week we talked about meal planning, and we've actually been talking about this topic for a while. And we've also gotten into some meal prepping. And last week we really got into like the order of cooking your food so that, you're saving time in the kitchen and also different things that you can be doing to either save money or save time. So it really takes out the guesswork so that you're reaching your goals, so that you're staying on point and on track. So with that, we got into like making freezer meals or freezing food if you're buying in bulk or if you want to create your own TV dinner so that you're not eating the processed food that you would get if you bought a TV dinner from the freezer aisle of the store. We talked about what tools help. So for me, one of my favorite tools was using a crock pot. And I think Clinesia shared one of her favorite tools was using her portion control containers. And we're both into planning out our meals. Clinesia uses Pyrex dishes, like the glass ones, and I use Tupperware. I'm more into the kind of like the faceplate ones, where it has the sections for the portions already in there. We talked about different styles of meal prepping, whether it's, you ever see the cool Instagram photo where everybody has all the Tupperware laid all out on the table and it's very intimidating. For some people, that is fun and that is what motivates them to meal prep. For other people, they might want to do like a buffet style where they just cook all their meat and they have all their veggies bagged up and they have all their grains, and they just pull from that throughout the week as they eat their meals. However you do it, I'm just happy as long as you do it and get that in there. So that kind of segues into this week. And we are going to be talking about superfoods today. And I love the title, and it's What's So Super About Superfoods? And a lot of times people feel like superfoods are just like a marketing gimmick, and we're just going to throw that title onto whatever is, the most expensive food of the week type deal. And it's all just a ploy to get you buying something new and something healthy. So we'll slap this title on it. Truth be told, there is like a little bit of truth to that, where, it is a lot of marketing. It is a lot of jump on the bandwagon type mentality. But there is a reason why these foods are being called superfoods. And it's because they are so jam-packed with nutrients and minerals and vitamins and all of these things. And that's what makes it super. Like, you're just getting so much more bang for your buck. But the only way you're really going to know that is if you do your research and do your time to look up these foods. Because I could tell you that an apple is a superfood, and you'd be like, oh my God, I have to go find these pink lady apples because I heard on the internet, because everything that you hear on the internet is true, right? So I heard on the internet that pink lady apples are going to boost my metabolism. I'm going to get abs of steel if I eat a pound of pink lady apples a day, right? So, no.
Some of those.
But what it really is the gala apples. Those are the ones. No, I'm kidding. You can look up the nutritional facts of apples, of kale, of spinach, and see, is it nutrient dense? Is it hitting like all of these, vitamin profiles, mineral profiles that you wouldn't get from just eating something else? Quenisha, what do you think? Like, what's a superfood to you?
So honestly, I think I was one of those people who heard the word superfood and I was just like, whatever. I don't even know what that means. But you really have to know that superfood is only talking about something that is nutrient dense. Now, that's something that I feel like is another complex term that people have no idea what that means. But you mentioned it earlier. Nutrient dense is just, it's a term to describe a food that is so packed with nutrients, especially for the low amount of calories that is in the food. So some of these superfoods, like almonds and salmon and berries and all these things, they just are packed with so many vitamins and amino acids and antioxidants. They've got your complex carbs and your protein. It's just all these things that your body needs, that your body really craves. They're packed with them. And so that's why when you are starting to eat clean or move towards a healthier eating habit, people will say you need to go after those superfoods. But it literally encompasses any good and healthy food that has a ton of vitamins, minerals, nutrients in it that will nourish your body. And so one of the things when you're feeling like you're eating so much, when we eat a lot of junk and filling our body with things that are lacking in a lot of the key nutrients that our bodies need, that's a huge reason why we continue to eat. So even though, we've just been McDonald's an hour ago and had a whole meal, we're hungry again, because it's just your body saying, okay, I know that you ate, I know that you fed me something, but it had zero nutrients in it. So I want more, I want something else. And so that's why when you go for healthier foods that do have those nutrients in them, your body will stay satisfied longer, because it's getting those healthy vitamins, minerals, everything that it needs to be satiated. So I want to share with you some of my favorite examples of superfoods. Like we said, a superfood could literally be anything that is packed with good stuff that your body loves. But a couple of our favorites, both Dave and I will share some of our favorites with you guys. So one that I really want to touch on is quinoa. And I will gladly admit to you guys that quinoa isn't really it's not really one of my favorite things, just because I'm a little bit of a texture snob, and it, you know, it has this kind of feel when you put it in your mouth. But I recognize how packed with nutrients it is. Literally, so quinoa, for those of you who don't know, it's a grain. It's a gluten-free grain. You can compare it to like a brown rice or something like that. Eat it the same sort of way. But compared to other grains, it has so many more nutrients in it. It really, that's what makes it a superfood. So, you know, it has so much protein in it. And that's, you know, usually you're not going to find a grain that is packed with protein the way quinoa is. And so I think David's here going to pull up a graphic to show you guys. But it's also packed with, you know, amino acids. It's got antioxidants. It's got 2 times as much fiber than any other grain that you can eat. It's got iron in it, and that's really great for your red blood cells, keeping them healthy. It's got magnesium, which helps, you know, regulate your body temperature, and it helps detox your body. It helps give you energy. It's got a low glycemic index, which is great for people who, you know, if your doctor says, hey, you need to follow a lower carb diet, quinoa is great for somebody like that. You know, it's great for controlling, you know, metabolic health. So somebody who, let's say, is at risk of like metabolic syndrome, or, you know, they're, you know, severely overweight and they have a lot of health risks, quinoa is really great for getting your health in check. A couple of other things. It's really great for your cardiovascular health. It helps you regulate your digestive system. I used to struggle a lot with digestive problems growing up my entire life. Since I started transitioning into a healthier lifestyle and eating more superfoods like quinoa, I haven't had any symptoms that I used to have with my digestive health. So that's been super, super important. Another awesome thing about quinoa is that it can help reduce type 2 diabetes, which is super important. Those of us who either have been a little bit overweight, are a little bit overweight, know somebody that's overweight, we know that, you know, very quickly we can become at risk for diabetes. So having these foods that can help control that is super, super important. David, do you want to share one of your favorites?
Sure. I am kind of, I don't want to say like addicted to, but I just love the benefits of coconut oil. And I know that it's something that you are a really big fan of too. So we can kind of tag team this one if you want to. But coconut oil is one of those things that just has like 50 million uses, right?
Yeah.
So like I know you were telling me that you use it as a moisturizer, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. I use it. That's good. Like I use it in my hair. Like you can use it to cook with. Like it's just one of those things. It's like you need like a jar for every purpose that you use it for, probably.
One in the kitchen, one in the bathroom.
Exactly. I'm trying to pull up the graphic on it right now. But coconut oil is really interesting because what it does is that it heats at a different temperature than other oils would. So it can get to a really high temperature without breaking down. The other thing that's really important about coconut oil is that your body treats it differently than it would other fats. It actually turns on your metabolism. So it is a really great fat to get into your system. So one of the ways I like using coconut oil is to actually put it in my coffee for the times that I do have coffee. And I use it to actually like replace the cream and sugar. Well, not the sugar part. I mean, it's not going to make your coffee taste sweet, but I use it to make my coffee taste creamy. And no, it's not going to change the color of looking like you have milk in your coffee, but you do get that creaminess. It also helps balance your hormones. And then some of the tips on this picture, like we said, great moisturizer for skin and hair, helps treat thyroid conditions. That's where that metabolism turning on, regulating your hormones kicks in. Same thing with combating obesity. It may help fight infections, and it may help in premature babies gaining weight. Again, it is a fat. It's a healthy fat. So it's one of those things you also have to be mindful of. Though it's all great and wonderful, you have to eat it in the right portion sizes. Like, don't go and like sit there with a jar of coconut oil. It's not gonna help with that. No, you can't do it with peanut butter either. You go sit there with a jar of anything.
Everything in moderation.
Sit there with a bowl of spinach.
I was gonna say, unless it's like celery.
I was about to say, unless it's like iceberg lettuce, that's probably it. Don't do it. So what other ways do you use coconut oil for?
So you had mentioned cooking with it. We all know that olive oil is another really healthy fat. So sometimes I will just replace anything that I would make with olive oil with coconut oil. Coconut oil too just adds like a nice little toasty flavor to anything that you cook with it. So, and it can heat up to really high temperatures. So it's nice to cook a lot of different things with. Like you said, I use it as a moisturizer. At night, I will put it on my face, on my body after a shower, and wake up in the morning feeling soft and smooth. I also use it in my hair to just moisturize and just keep it from getting dry. I'm just trying to think, what else do we use it for? Literally, there's a use for almost anything when it comes to coconut oil. And I mean, I'm a fan. You know, my family has used it for literally our entire lives. So I love that it's gaining popularity and more people are seeing the benefits of it.
Yeah, and I think a good thing.
To keep it.
Echoing for a second. For people who sorry, do you hear the echo?
No.
Okay, I'll just ignore it. Who aren't used to nutrition in this way. You have to remember that it uses carbohydrates and fats for energy. So the fact that coconut oil is for you, your body's going to break that down into energy. So you're going to feel an energy spike from using it. It's great to use it in the morning, and that's where that boost in your metabolism is coming from. So he said he does hear an echo. Coconut oil isn't that expensive, and there are some good websites that are out there that have discounted like health food prices. So I know I use like VitaCost online, but yeah, if you shop around for it, there's like a lot of good places to get coconut oil. I will say that like some of the superfoods, like, again, because of that name superfood, they try to take advantage of the marketing and like bump up the price. So you just kind of have to do your research and look around and like kind of shop around for it a little bit.
Yeah, I always find, especially with something like coconut oil, it's better to buy it in a larger jar. You're going to use it, I promise. But it'll feel like it's a dent in your pocket. In the beginning, it might be like $20, $25, but it's a giant jar that will literally last you forever. Almost.
Not in your house, though.
I mean, given how much we use it, it lasts a pretty long time. So
what other superfoods do you like to use or eat?
So I feel like, just to let you know, we're spending some time talking about foods that are, I think, less common in most households. We definitely all eat, berries and apples and all these kinds of things that are superfoods, and you eat them. Maybe you don't know they're superfoods, but you eat them all the time, but they're healthy. But we want to touch on some things that you might not have given a chance just yet. So the next superfood I want to talk about is actually pomegranate. Now, I know everybody's heard of pomegranate. There's pomegranate flavored everything, literally. But the actual fruit itself is probably one of the best superfoods that you can eat. It is literally packed. It is so high in antioxidants. It's amazing for your heart health, and it's probably better than a lot of other fruits that have antioxidants in them as well. It's great for your immune health. It strengthens your immune system so you get sick less. It's really great for lowering your cholesterol and other cardiac risk factors. It's great for, just managing your cardiovascular health, helps lower your blood pressure. It contains not just the antioxidants, but also it has a lot of fiber in it. It's got a little bit of protein in it, something that people don't always realize. It's got, vitamin C, like the image says, 40% of your daily value of vitamin C. It's got vitamin K in it. It's got folate. It's got potassium, all these amazing things that your body really craves. And again, it's great for helping with digestive issues. Now, a lot of people have started drinking pomegranate juice. It's a bit on the tart side in my opinion, so I don't love to drink pomegranate juice, but even having pomegranate seeds, I think a lot of people don't eat it because they don't know what to do with it. In my family, like my mom will just pop the seeds out and eat them, but a lot of people will put the seeds over a salad. There are just so many different things that you can do, and sometimes it does take just a little bit of research to see how you can use it, but the health benefits that come with a fruit like this are so amazing. So I definitely challenge you guys out there, if you haven't tried pomegranate before, whether it's pomegranate juice or, eating the fruit itself, definitely give that a shot. Have you ever tried pomegranate before, Deva?
I have not. I've never bought a pomegranate and done it, but there are so many YouTube hack videos now, and all those tasty videos on Facebook and whatever, Huffington Post eat food and BuzzFeed food, and everybody has a food series now. But everybody shows how easy it is to just pop the seeds out. And I love having any type of salad that has pomegranates in it, fresh ones, or even a pomegranate vinaigrette salad dressing. I love. So I feel empowered to try it.
You should. Definitely should. So tell us about one more of your favorites.
Okay. I don't know if I want to call it a favorite. It's definitely one that I've had before.
I think I know which one you mean.
One that I think is really great. I think it's one people really, really do not care for. And they're like, come on, Mackenzie, I'm not doing that. And I have actually a really funny story about it too. But this one is wheatgrass. The funny story about wheatgrass is that I convinced my parents to try it, and they're anti anything healthy. No, if it tastes bad, I'm not doing it. And I'm like, but it's so good for you. Just try it. You're doing so many good things for your body in just one little shot. And they're like, but is it grass? Does it taste like grass? I'm like, wheatgrass is definitely a kind of grass, and it definitely kind of tastes like grass. But it has such a concentrated source of nutrients. It contains vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, iron, calcium, magnesium, and amino acids. And then it's also been used to treat a variety of conditions. So it can help with increasing hemoglobin production, which is in your red blood cells. It's been shown to help with blood sugar disorders like diabetes. It's been shown to help prevent tooth decay. It helps with wound healing. It helps prevent bacterial infections. So if you're prone to those, you can, take your daily wheatgrass shot. It also helps in removing deposits of heavy metals and other carcinogenic agents in the body. It basically helps the liver remove those toxins from your blood. It's also been shown to help reduce high blood pressure, prevent gray hair, improve digestion. I'm like, all of these good things going on in this a little shot from this whole thing of grass. Who wouldn't try it, right? At least once. It's funny. It's often served with a shot of orange juice, and because wheatgrass is actually pretty sweet kind of tasting, and believe it or not, that orange juice kind of cuts it. But yeah, anywho, so if you really are that scared of it, just chew it with some orange juice and get some places are really cute with it, and they'll give you an orange slice as if it were a lemon, so that you're really taking a full on shot here. And I'm like, do what you got to do, just get it in your system. I read in other places that it's taking one shot of wheatgrass is a whole daily value worth of vegetables. I don't know how much truth there is to that. And again, that's what comes with this title of superfoods. Like, you really got to look into how much truth there are to some of these claims, and what studies have been done. But there are a lot of studies that have been done that suggest, but I just think not enough to say that it's like written in stone definitely does this type of deal. But it's definitely a great dose of fiber. The chlorophyll shown to help with arthritis. It's a good source of potassium. I just feel like it's worth a shot, right? Get it? Worth a shot.
See what you did there.
Thank you.
I'm on your paper. Good.
People think I'm funny. It's all right.
You're good. Don't worry.
And do you want to do a couple more?
Yeah, I'll talk about another one.
Let's keep it
so maybe I'll talk about one more, and then I feel like we should open it up to others to share some of their favorites. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so we haven't really mentioned any proteins, like meat. We haven't mentioned any meat. I'm all about my meat. So I'm gonna talk about salmon. Now, growing up, I really didn't eat a lot of salmon, and I don't even know why. I just never tried it. It was one of those things that I looked at and I said, I don't like it. And then one day we went to, it was like a work lunch somewhere at some hotel, and they brought, it was the preset menu, and the meat option was salmon. And I was like, Lord help me. But I took a bite of this thing, and I was like my life changed that day. I was like, salmon is a part of my diet. I love it. And that was even before I knew how good it really was for you. So salmon, for those of you who don't know, probably one of the healthiest proteins that you can really eat. It's just literally packed with omega-3 fatty acids. And these are the fatty acids that, they put in like different milks to help little kids and build their brains. Like, these are really important fatty acids and healthy fats for you. They're packed with, salmon's packed with vitamins, different kind of vitamins, A, E, K, D, in fish. And it's got amino acids. Of course, it's got a ton of protein. It's protein. It's great for helping with managing your cardiovascular health. So helping to prevent things like heart disease. It's great for helping to prevent your risk of stroke and diabetes and different inflammatory disorders like Crohn's disease. It's really great for helping to manage those types of things. With the caveat, we'll talk about this later, kind of the science behind these superfoods. But it's just, if you eat something like this that has all of these great benefits, your risk of getting some of these diseases that are more common in people who have a lot more health issues is a little bit lessened. But again, we'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later on in the show. But anyway, eat salmon. If you don't eat salmon, go try it. I promise you're gonna like it. Are you a fish fan, Dava?
I am. My favorites are salmon, and I would say, oh my God, the name just escaped me. It's not tilapia. Swai, SWAI, swai fillets. Oh my God. And they're usually, that's a good fish to find on sale, and they cook really quickly. It's a white fish. And I was going to say, the thing that's so great about salmon is, one, it's yummy. There's 50 million different ways you can make it. Cook it in the stove, cook it in the oven, cook it on the grill. It's summertime, definitely bust out that grill. You could do a honey type of glaze on it. You can do lemon and dill. Salmon's just awesome. And I am a big lox person, smoked salmon on a bagel. Oh my goodness. I know bagels are bad, but it's how I was raised being a New Yorker. Bagels and lox were my whole life. But yeah, so I love lox. And the thing about omega-3s that's important to keep in mind is omega-3s is a fat that your body cannot produce on its own. The only way to get it in your system is from through food you eat or through vitamins. And that's really what's going to help with your joint health, and it gives you beautiful skin and hair, and like you said, all the neurological development, especially in unborn children. It is just one, again, superfoods. It's what we're talking about. She says, yes.
I'm like, you build the brain, and you're like, neurological development. Love that.
They're like in kids, the little ones. Yeah, them.
Things, the little people.
Not the big ones, the little ones.
That's how you can tell you're the mom, and I'm not.
I'm like, you mean in the milk, the formula? It was something.
Thank you. So let's open it up. Let's have some of our guests share some of their favorite superfoods.
Yeah, you said you had to. You know who you are. We're ready for them.
Yes, all in.
So funny. So, Clinique, are you gonna go try wheatgrass?
Let me think about it. Hi.
Hey guys.
You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Mustafa. Just a guest here. I dropped in. Wasn't really prepared for this.
You're fine.
It's okay.
We love putting people
on some things while you guys were talking. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you perfect.
All right, good. All right, so this is in no particular order. These are just like foods I discovered over some years that I love. I eat all the time, and they're really good for you. One is pretty trendy, kale. I've been eating kale a lot. It's affordable. It tastes good. It's nutrient rich. It's easy to prepare. Yeah, so that's the kale. Another is red kidney beans in the legume family. Like for those who are watching their fat content or cholesterol, it's a vegetable, so it's a zero of both, and it's protein rich. It's pretty filling too. But yeah, like Divya was saying, it's like as far as its protein makeup, it doesn't have all your essential proteins, so you might want to supplement it with like a rice, like a whole rice, maybe basmati, that has the rest of the proteins that it might be missing. I recently discovered sweet potato as an alternative to, yeah? You're going to say something about
sweet potato.
Yeah.
No, I react a lot, so just go on. Ignore me.
Okay, no, just, yeah, jump in. Like I said, I wasn't prepared for this, so I don't really have too much to say. But yeah, sweet potato is also really nutrient rich, especially in the vitamin A. That I like. And I don't think this one people don't know about too much, but it's amazing. And I said like at first they're not in any particular order, but if I had to put them in order now, I'd put this at number one. It's protein. So a lot of people out there supplement their diet with protein because they're working out, they're going to the gym regularly, and they need that for growth and repair. And they usually go to whey protein, which is a milk protein, right? And it's not bad in itself, but hemp is just so much cleaner. It's got all 9 essential amino acids. It's water soluble, so it mixes well with everything. Like you can put it in oatmeal, and the taste is unbelievable. It's got that nutty taste that Divya was talking about in coconut oil. So I put that in oil in the morning, and I found it by luck. And yeah, that's my number one go-to for protein supplement is hemp protein. And that's it. Yeah. That's all I wrote down.
Those are great. I'm glad you brought up hemp protein. I feel like that's another thing that people don't know a lot about. We always, you're right, go for the whey. Yeah. I mentioned earlier that I used to have a lot of digestive issues, and the whey protein really was not helping. So yeah, I'm glad now you're ready to try hemp. Deva, there's hemp powder. So sometimes we do a 3-day cleanse, and part is doing this fiber sweep. And in the fiber sweep, it has a mix of chia seeds, flax seeds, and hemp powder, which Deva, you like already. So you have tried it. Oh, hemp milk. Yeah, I haven't really tried that. There's so many different milk out there now that people are, they're like, have you tried rice milk and this milk and that? No, I haven't, but I need to. And I'm glad you brought up sweet potatoes. That is one of my absolute favorites. And sometimes it's unbelievable to me that it's so good for you. It's a great complex carb for your body, but I literally, I can make mashed sweet potatoes. I'll cut them up and make like sweet potato fries in the oven. just chop them up, and there's just so many things you can do with sweet potatoes. The other day I made stuffed sweet potatoes, so I kind of made like a chicken and vegetable mixture and stuffed it inside of a sweet potato, which was amazing. So there's just so much you can do with it. It tastes so good, and it's great. It's great for you. What do you think, Seva?
I love sweet potatoes, and I am gonna like shout out AU for this one, American University, because they used to have this cafe that would make like homemade sweet potato chips. And as a kid, I thought I hated sweet potatoes. I didn't like them. I didn't like yams either. I don't really like any of my vegetables cooked as a child or now. I can't stand it. So any type of like mushy, sweet type of like cooked carrots, like it just like grosses me out. So I swore I didn't like sweet potatoes, and they started making like these fresh sweet potato chips, like for all of the sandwiches they would make, or the paninis they would make, and that's what really put me onto them. And then I discovered, you can make them at home, and I have a book on my website, and it's all different recipes that fall within the meal plan that we follow. And I did a loaded sweet potato in there. So a sweet potato with some Greek yogurt and sriracha sauce, like, sounds so good to me right now. I'm like, I think we need to make sure we eat before we do any more shows regarding food.
You hungry now? I literally just ate though, so I'll be good.
Yeah.
You also, Mustafa, you brought up kale, which I think I fought that for a long time, just because. Okay, full disclosure, I don't like to be tricked, and so one Thanksgiving, my mom makes collard greens every Thanksgiving, and she was trying to be healthy one year and stuck some kale in the greens. I mean, it was still good. It was great. But it was obviously a little bit different. I was like, what is this? And she told me it was kale. And so I was like, never kale. It's so disgusting. But it's so good for you, and it's amazing. But it has, unless you're eating like a baby kale, it has kind of a rough texture that I think, like I said earlier, I'm a bit of a texture snob. So it kind of took some getting used to. But I don't know. Have you guys ever tried kale chips, like making your own kale chips in the oven? So that's actually what turned me on to kale, and now I love it. It's part of my diet all the time. But the first time I really liked it, what I did was mixed it up with some lemon juice, a little bit of sriracha, and red pepper flakes, stuck it in the oven, and it just came out so delicious. From then on, I was like, okay, kale, because it can be in my book. It can be on the board for forever now. It's so good.
Yeah, and kale for me
absolutely.
things where I hate cooked vegetables again, so I hate collard greens. Like, anything cooked I wouldn't eat, but when I discovered, like, oh, well, you can use any of your greens for a salad, like even spinach. I hate cooked spinach, but I will eat spinach raw. So I like either kale chips or to eat kale raw in a salad. That's my go-to.
Yeah, what I do is because like you said, it's a bit rough. Yeah, could you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. So yeah, just to get rid of that toughness, I saute it a bit. So in olive oil, I put it on a frying pan, and it gets rid of that roughage, that hard roughage. But yeah, sometimes I eat it raw itself. It's an acquired thing. Yeah, when I first ate it too, I didn't like it, So after what I got used to it. And it's filling, right? So that's important to me. Not leaving a meal feeling hungry, like you want to feel satisfied. And kale, yeah, it gives you that good satisfied feeling if you eat it after a protein. So I usually mix kale with like a salmon, and that's a really good combination. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Mustafa.
No problem.
It's
good talking to you guys.
There, yeah.
No, I'm really glad I found this. I wrote all this down, so I'll try the quinoa. It's called. I've never even heard of that before.
Quinoa, yeah.
Yeah, and the coconut oil and the pomegranate. I'll try them all. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like, what great additions that he had to our list. So that's awesome.
Okay.
Deva, So earlier in the show, you're like, what? So we've mentioned a few times in the show as we've been talking about some of these foods that we'll say the words, it may help with this, it can help with this, different ailments and things like that. Do you want to talk a little bit about the science behind superfoods and, what kind of proof or evidence there really is or isn't regarding some of the claims that people make about them?
Yeah, I kind of alluded to it a little bit before. So a lot of times with the studies is that they'll do like a test group and or like a study group, and they'll try and see if they can see the effects that these foods have on people. The problem with that is that it's really hard to get a control group where you have everybody exactly the same. Everybody's eating the same things in the same portions, has the same medical history, has the same, been on the same medication throughout their life, has the same environment, all of that. It's really hard to do a test on humans and have it be a true control. So with that, a lot of times with the studies, it's very hard to do one and then to have it be like a claim where they can say it's a fact. You have to be able to repeat that study. So it's very hard for them to repeat it and get the same results. So, but a lot of times what they will see is that there are trends in this direction, right? So that's where you research and you see that it says it may help with arthritis. That means that the trends are going in a positive direction. Most people see an improvement. How much of an improvement, no one can really say. You might not see anywhere, I might see nothing and Clinician might be completely cured from this, right? There are also issues with, again, like just kind of like measuring what's a success and what's not a success. Helping with your arthritis and like you feel, no pain for an hour out of the day when you felt it all, 24 hours. It's like, well, it did help, didn't it? You got relief for that 1 hour, but how do you really measure it? What does that look like? So this is why I'm always hesitant when people like throw out the word superfood or they're like, oh no, it's definitely going to cure your diabetes. And I'm like, okay, with some people, do your research. You also have issues with some superfoods, and this is very important. If you are on any medication, you need to make sure that you speak with a doctor before you alter your diet in any way. And I say this because there are medications out there that will interact with certain vitamins and minerals, especially heart medications. And therefore, you cannot handle the increase of the vitamin and nutrients from the superfood. It is so nutrient dense that it will throw off the medication that you're on, right? So in that sense, it wouldn't help you. It would not be super in any sense of the word. So you have things like that going on with the science background of it. And again, I say that if you are healthy and you're not on any medication, it's worth trying it. Like, be your own little guinea pig and see how you feel. Like, if you eat quinoa, do you feel energy? Do you feel like you have reserves enough to go run a 5K? Or, maybe not so much. Do you feel energy after coconut oil? I know I did, and I suffered from thyroid issues. One of the great things that I do as a busy professional is I make sure I drink my Shakeology every day. Every superfood that we talked about, that Clinician and I talked about, except for salmon, is in Shakeology. Yeah, they don't put fish in Shako, as they should. But there are other sources of protein in there, but it has so many superfoods in there. My personal experience, and everybody's experience is different. They don't claim to, cure anything, was that it really got my gut health in check, which was really, really important for my thyroid. And I have now been off of my medication for 2 years. When a lot of doctors will tell you, oh, you'll be on medication for this forever. Well, eating clean and getting, all the nutrients I needed and leading a healthier lifestyle helped me. I can't say that it's going to cure everybody, but for me it did. And that's what makes me a proponent of, at least get out there, try, experiment, see what you like. Like, I may have never liked sweet potatoes had I not tried. I may have never discovered kale had I not tried. Cornelia would have been like raising an eyebrow to salmon for the rest of her life had someone not stick it in front of her. Yeah, we talked about what is a superfood in the beginning. And it is basically a food that is very nutrient dense. And nutrient dense meaning that it is hitting so many vitamin and nutrition profiles, in one serving. So you're getting so much more bang for your buck with a superfood than you would like in a serving of turkey. Turkey, you have your protein, you have fats, you have some nutrients in there from whatever the turkey ate. But if you had a serving of quinoa, you'd be getting amino acids, you'd be getting vitamins and minerals, you'd be getting that protein, you'd be getting carbohydrates. Like, you've got so many things in that one, and then it's a small little serving of quinoa that gives you so much. So that's kind of what makes a superfood a superfood. So I guess that's what's so super about it. Answer the title of the show.
You did it again. On a roll tonight.
I love corny jokes. I don't know why. I'm so sorry.
You're a little bit corny.
It's okay. It's 2 a.m. Now you guys know more about me.
It's what makes us love you, David. You're good.
Thanks.
Oh, goodness. What'd you say?
Did you want to add anything?
You know what? This has been an awesome show, and I enjoy talking about food, obviously. But I really enjoyed this conversation, especially because, like you said, there are things that both of us, like, we haven't tried, all of us here in the chat right now. And, we've all learned a little bit something, and there's something that we can all go out and try. So just for that fact alone, I really enjoyed this conversation. And, I always love just sharing information like this with other people, just, to open their eyes. I don't want everybody to be like me and just be like, oh, that's weird and I've never had it, so I don't like it. Like you said, if you don't go out and try some of these amazing foods, you'll never reap the benefits of eating them. So it's worth a shot. And I would say even more than once, because there are plenty of superfoods that I've tried one time and I was like, Lord have mercy, that's disgusting. But it's an acquired taste sometimes, and you do get used to it, and you do learn to like a lot of these things. It's all about experimentation and, just figuring out what works for you and what doesn't. So thank you all for joining, being a part of this conversation. I hope that, once the replay is up, you will share this conversation with somebody who you think might benefit from it. I honestly think anybody can benefit from knowing, one, what a superfood is, and, a few examples of superfoods and what they can do for you. So definitely share this playback. And love to have you join us next week. Next week, we'll actually be talking about supplements, which I think is a great segue from superfoods, because most people, I feel comfortable saying most people who don't get enough vitamins and minerals end up using supplements to try to get those things in their bodies. So that's what we'll be talking all about next week. And I hope you'll join us. Same time, same place, 9 o'clock Eastern time, right here on Blab.
Hi, everybody.
Good night.